Hi everybody. As you know, I've not done a video for a while. Obviously those of you who follow my channel and subscribe know that my mother passed away recently, and obviously we had a lot of things to sort out, and the funeral was last Thursday. Today is Saturday, and she had a lovely send-off, and I'd just like to thank everybody on YouTube and obviously possibly Facebook as well, because I do post these videos on Facebook, to everybody who left some kind comments for my mother and my family over obviously this very, very difficult time. That's people from all over the world. I mean, social media sites like Facebook and YouTube can be used for a lot of rubbish, but at times of stress and hardship and heartache, it's amazing how many people out there from all over the world can help you through your moments of sadness and despair, just with letting you know that they're there and they appreciate and understand what you're possibly going through. And that was actually very, very lovely. So this is obviously the first video I've done since that. I'm going to try and get back to normal now, because a lot has actually happened. Even though I've not made a video, there's stuff that still carries on, as you know. The growing in the garden, we still have to earn money. Lucky enough, my income to a certain extent is automated, so although I've not done any physical work in the way of restoration stuff or repairing stuff or whatever, we are lucky enough to have automatic cash streams that come in, and obviously that's what pays the bills. So you know, it's just the lifestyle which I've chosen, and in times of hardship, when you really don't want to be going to work, or you're tied into a regime like working for a living, you know, it's at times like this when everything goes out the window and you've just got to carry on and get through whatever you can, and when you're ready, sort of thing. So anyway, so time to move forward now. So hopefully I'm putting this video out just to let you know that I am alright, everything went well, and thanks very much for your comments. So anyway, that's that. Now, as far as the garden's concerned and the other jobs, I'm going to start picking up on the outstanding restorations. As you know, we've got the Piaggio moped to do. I've had to do a lot of work in the garden, as you well know, and even more so now, because all we've basically been doing is watering stuff, and things like the tomato plants and stuff like that, and the courgettes and the pumpkins have all literally gone wild. Well, let's actually take you around the garden quickly and show you actually what's gone on. And what we'll do then, we'll take a look outside, because Jimmy's actually doing work on the Mini as well. Now, as you probably remembered in the mini series of DVDs, we'd actually got to the stage where we'd actually fully resprayed the Mini and put the top coat on, the clear coat and everything. But Jimmy started work in a body shop. There was a couple of little issues which he wanted to tackle himself, and bearing in mind, when we started the Mini, it was just a tidy up job and to make it a usable classic. It wasn't going to be a full body strip down. The reason being is because we didn't have the space nor the inclination to do that when Gary first took the job on. But Jimmy's obviously wanted to practice his skills now, and he started stripping stuff down. And we actually took some of the panels, or he took some of the panels down to bare metal again, because we had the problems with the wheel arches, as you probably remember. And that meant that he had to do some body work to fill in the holes, because we bought the wrong wheel arches. So we'll show you a bit of what Jimmy's done. And we actually found 11 layers of paint on that Mini. So we'll have a look in a minute, and I'll show you what he's actually been doing as well. But let's quickly have a shoot around the garden. Let's just see what has actually grown. Right, well, as you can probably see, these are the little tiny tomato plants that was in the polytunnel. And obviously the stuff out here, which you can see, these were is the cabbages. I've actually planted some more stuff at the front there. We've got some celery there in the front, and the middle one there, as you can probably see. There's some more celery in this one. This was the actual blue bin which we had the broccoli in, and as you remember, that turned to seed, and I ended up pulling that out and buying some more broccoli plants. And these four here, as you can see, these are the broccoli plants which I've brought, and I've basically left them outside now, because I think what was happening with them was that they was it was too hot in the polytunnel for them, and they just turned to seed straight away. So the broccoli's now outside. They're new. They were baby plants. They only cost £2.50 for a little tray of 4. So we've got 3 trays there, as you can see, in the actual big containers there. So they're doing very well. Let's have a look around here. We've moved the potatoes outside. As you can see, the potatoes have actually gone totally mad. There's the 1, 2, 3, and there's 2 over here. So there's the 5 potato plants we've got there. And as you can see, the carrots really took off lovely there. I think you can see the actual beetroots there. Can you see them there? Look, absolutely lovely. So they're growing lovely there, the beetroots, as you can probably see there. This was the last row which was empty, and I just planted some more cauliflowers along this row, I think. Cabbages there, and I think I put Savoy cabbages down the outside. Now we've got a massive problem with them, the leaves being eaten. Even though we've got these cloches up here, we've had a large problem with slugs, and night time up here it's like slug heaven. You wouldn't believe how many slugs we get climbing up here, and actually snails as well. So there's absolutely loads and loads of them, but we come out here at night and we actually deslug the area. This is the broad beans or runner beans, one of the two. I can't remember what these actually was on this side. And as you can see, I was going to actually build another one for the peas, the sweet peas, but I'm obviously tight for space here. So what I actually done, I went around the back, and on the other side, if I go around there, of the frame, I actually planted the peas along there. Those were the peas that was in the gutter, and I'm just in the verge of starting to train these up now so that they can go up there. So as you can see, this area has gone absolutely mad up here. Now barley's not allowed in here still, so let's just take a walk into the polytunnel. So yet again back in the polytunnel now, and I'll show you around this in a second, but the polytunnel has really done a good job at bringing on these initial plants basically, so I'm well pleased with them. We're coming to the end of our lettuce now. It's turning to seed, it's starting to develop flowers on the end of it, so we're going to be planting some more lettuce because that actually comes up in no time anyway. So everything else in here appears to be coming up lovely, so I'll just walk you around quickly what we've got left in the polytunnel just so that you can see, because we've got to now start to obviously finish off the tomatoes, get them out. The strawberries have come on lovely, and Sharon's been eating the strawberries as they've been growing, so there's no red ones on there at the moment, but I'll show you them in a second. So let's have a quick look around in here now. Well, the ones I've still got problems with is the cucumbers, and as you can see there, nothing's really happening with the cucumbers. I don't know why, but we think we've done all what we should have done. We've got, that was an old original cucumber plant there, with another one this side, and this one in the middle here is one we actually bought separately. We've got the little peppers here, the chili peppers I think these are. Sharon's just sprayed them because apparently we had some green fly on them. The corn, the baby sweet corns, as you can see, is growing up into lovely plants now. And these here, these onions, as I said, I didn't replant these, perhaps I should have done. But I've been eating these, and these are actually like very strong onions, spring onions, so we're going alright there. The remainders of the beetroot in there, obviously they're going to be very small, I understand that, as with these carrots in there, because all I'd done there was just literally get the packet and sprinkle the seeds. I didn't realise that we should have really done them in rows or whatever. And as you can see, we're coming to the end of the lettuce now, although we're still eating it, so that's not too bad. At the back here we have our flowers, which we had, if you remember. These are the candy tuft, I think they are, and the sweet night scented stock at the back there, and again some other flowers there. Now this is the actual pumpkin flower, which plant, which we've put in this bed here, as you can see, and that's really growing mad. And this is the actual courgette plants there, and as you can see they're developing their flowers now. Oh, tell a lie, look, the actual courgettes are actually developing. That's fantastic. I think everywhere where there's a flower, I think that's the courgette. So first sign of our proper growing there, as you can see, and that's very nice. I'm well pleased with that. The herbs, as you know, yet more tomatoes along here. We've literally got tons and tons of tomatoes. The rhubarb is obviously spreading, and the strawberry plants. Now I think, I'm not sure, you might be able to tell me, but I think these, once I plant them outside, you can just let them ramble. I'm not too sure exactly, but as you can see, we've actually got strawberries on them, although them ones are green at the moment now, as you can probably see. That one's turning red, but we've still only, just to say, just got them in this pot here, or these little pots, but eventually they will be planted outside, so there we go. So some more tomatoes to be bedded over there. But all in all, everything's been growing absolutely fantastic, so I'm well pleased with my first attempt at growing, and I'm sure the polytunnel has helped as well. Let's just take you along to see the tomatoes now, because we've actually taken the tomatoes today and we've actually replanted them, because they was literally getting very pot bound in them little pots we had them in here, so we've moved them outside. Let's take a look. So as you can probably see here, there is no shortage of tomatoes here, so we've got a lovely crop there, so we're going to obviously be enjoying these in many different ways in the next few months' time, whether it be sauces, pasta sauces, tomato sauces, or eating them as salads or whatever like that. So yes, I'm quite happy with them. And these are the flowers which we planted. I don't know what ones these was. I can't remember. I did put little labels in them. I can't remember what they were though, but whatever they are, they're coming up lovely, just as them ones are over there on the table over there. Well, those of you who watch my channel will obviously know the work that I've done to the actual fence along here before I put the polytunnel up. There's a few videos on that. If any of you do want to have a look back at my previous videos, you'll see all the work I've done with putting the concrete posts in here, because the fence was all leaning over and stuff. But anyway, that property next door now, that got sold at auction, and it wasn't a bad price at all. It sold for, I think it was £137,000, and the chap who's bought it is a property developer. Anyway, he came around and knocked on my door and asked me if I wanted to buy half of his garden there, because the garden was obviously too big for the little bungalow which is attached to it. I mean, it was too much for me, because I'd already done all this work here, so I didn't really bother about it. I was happy with our little plot here, basically. So anyway, yesterday he came round and he knocked at the door again, and he said, because I actually own this fence along here, you see, so it's my responsibility to obviously repair it or whatever. Anyway, he came round and he asked me if he had any problems with the fence being replaced, and he said that he would actually fund it. So bottom line is, that work which I've done there is all going to be dug up, and there's a brand new fence along the whole length, which is great. I'll show you in a second. The whole length of my garden, which is literally loads and loads of panels. I don't know, I've not even counted them, but there's loads and loads of panels along there, and he's going to actually replace the whole lot free of charge, because just so it looks better from his side, because he's actually flattened the whole garden there. So let's have a little peek over the top, and I'll show you what he's actually done. Just have a little peek. As you can see there, look at the size of that garden. There's the bungalow at the end there, as you can see. It's a small bungalow. It was a 2-bedroom. He's turned it into a 3-bedroom. But all along here, this fence line down here, which I'm going to show you, I can't see, obviously you can see that. There used to be a trench all along there, and this is where all the trees were growing up along and actually overhanging my garden. So he's dug all them out for me, and this complete fence, which as you can see runs right the way down there towards the back of my property, is going to, because that still needed work doing, but I've just not had the time to do that. But all along here, straight the way down, obviously, straight the way down to that end fence, as you know, right at the back there, because I've repaired up to there so far, as you know. He's actually going to replace the whole lot, and it's going to be a lovely job. So yeah, what it basically means is, I don't know if you can see right down the end now, where the fence sort of bows outwards, comes in to my part. He's basically going to take it down in a straight line, so I'll actually gain about, I don't know, a foot or so, something like that. So yeah, looking forward to that, because it just gives me a bit more walking room down the end there, and I'm not too sure yet whether that'll create enough room for me to actually put some planters along there for peas and stuff. I'm not sure whether that'll get enough light in there, but yeah, as you can see, everything's really growing well now. The tomatoes are all planted in the troughs now, and they should be growing up lovely. So that's the little update on the garden. So let's take you out the front now. As I say, let's just give you a little update on the Mini, and let's see Jimmy. Right, well here we are at the front now with the Mini, Jimmy's Mini, as you can remember. This was totally basically finished, and it just needed cutting back and polishing, but obviously then we went to fit the wheel arches. They didn't line up, and there was all sorts of problems with regards to holes that was already in the wheel arches, which basically meant that there was going to be metal work needed to be done, holes to be filled, and Jimmy decided to try and use his new skills and just to test himself out, I suppose. And let's see what he's done anyway. Well, as you can see, these were full of holes along here, and we couldn't do nothing about these wings that had been cut off, so he's redone these, re-primed them. This has got the old Leckler TI primer on them at the moment. So he's done both front, they're ready to accept the wheel arches. And he also had the back wheel arches, obviously, which had loads of holes in there as well. So he's actually repaired all them as well. He's done the work on the back valance, because there were some marks on there. And he's now come around this side. And as you can see there is absolutely loads of paint on there. And he's got the old, this is a real strong Fast Effect Professional strip away paint stripper, which the car professionals use. And I'm sure you can see that that actually eats right into. There's 11 layers of paint on here. I don't know if you can probably see it or not, but it really does take it down. So he's taken this down because these are the actual holes all the way around the wheel arches, as you can see there, which he had to repair. So rather than try and mess about, he's going to take it straight away back, as he's done with all the other parts of the car. And the only thing we're not going to strip right the way back is the doors. The simple reason is because the doors actually were well corroded, and they was sort of not so much beyond repair, but you know, it would have been too much hassle to put new door skins in, because certain parts of the actual framework underneath were actually corroded as well, which was all treated. Don't forget, we treated all that with POR 15. So, but the doors are the only thing, and the roof, which are going to remain untouched. Everything else has been basically stripped back to bare metal, even down to the bonnet, and he's got to finish off the front valance there. So, and in a way it is good, because I mean it's giving Jimmy's done all this himself basically, so he's doing all this work with the knowledge that he's got now. And as I say, he's actually decided to take it straight back to bare metal, and he's done a very good job so far. So you probably also know that I brought another van. I've got an old transit van again, which is going to need some work done just on the wheel arches, and it's got a few little bubbles on the wheel arches. It went through its MOT, no problems whatsoever. I had a new clutch put in it, as you know, new slave cylinder. It's had a new master cylinder on it. It's actually a lovely running truck, so I'm well pleased with that. And what I'm going to possibly be doing in the near future as well as the wheel arches is I'm going to be putting some windows in the back of it. So, because I'm going to possibly use it, I'm going to board it out, not so much board it out, I'm going to insulate the whole of the back unit there. I'm going to put probably some sort of lino type flooring so that it's wipeable down. I'm not too sure what yet though, but that's my aim there. And I'm going to put some insulation on the walls and on the roof, and carpet it. I'm going to fit all the fitted carpet basically, so that's what I'm going to do there. I'm going to possibly turn that into sort of, still using it as a van because it's got the space capabilities, but I've brought some little stoves as well which you can cook with. So if we want to go down by the river somewhere and take the dogs with us, we can go in the back there, not a problem, and cook a bit of food up as well, whatever. And it just adds a little bit of a feature by having the windows in it. So that's what I'm going to be doing as well. So the escort panels, obviously Gary's going to start doing them again now. Let's just hope the weather stays with us. And we're going to be doing obviously more restorations. I want to get into the buying and selling stuff again, get some more little mopeds or bikes or stuff like that, show you what I do to repair these sort of things. And we're going to be moving forward and possibly seeing a bit more of the family life as well. Some of you quite like seeing what we actually do during the day as well. So there we go. That's just a little update video. This video is a tribute to my mother, by the way, Doreen Butler, and I'm sure she's looking down on us, and we'll probably see her again someday. Anyway, thanks very much. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.